Welcome back, true believers and all you merry Marvelites, to another very interesting episode of Marvel's Avengers 101. So yet again, we are going to be breaking down some relatively new info about the Avengers project, which was revealed after the War Table livestream was concluded. And while the War Table livestream did do a fairly decent job of elaborating upon all these various gameplay mechanics, we're primarily going to be focusing on the PlayStation blog article as well as the most recent Game Informer write-up, which does dive into the perks, attributes, and overall customization features which are implemented within this game. And just as your friendly neighborhood reminder, Marvel's Avengers is in fact built in a similar structure to other live service games that have released previously, like that of Destiny and Anthem. So if you're aware of the customization varieties that are included within those games, I think you will be pretty familiar as to what you can expect within this one. So knowing that Marvel's Avengers is seemingly going to have a very repetitive gameplay loop of loot, grind, and shoot, I just hope that earning these different gear pieces and perk abilities will surely be that of an incentive for players to continue playing the game even further. But to analyze that a bit more in depth, we are going to begin with the PlayStation blog article, which starts off with character customization. And to read the article itself, it states, playing through the Reassemble campaign and Warzone missions will reward players with an array of items, including gear, resources, artifacts, and cosmetics. Warzones are a great place to play your way by showing off your cosmetics and switching up your gear. Let's go into these systems. While maintaining the core DNA of each hero is important, we wanted to ensure each player could tailor the game to their preferred combat and aesthetic style. Here are some of the ways you'll be able to customize your superhero. And while we are all fully well aware as to the numerous types of customization options that will be available for players to dive into, it's nice to see this article summarize exactly what we can expect once the full game does release. So initially, we do have skills and rewards. And in the case of skills, which is pretty darn self-explanatory at this point, as you gain experience, you increase your hero level and unlock new character-specific skills. For example, you can choose to equip Iron Man's iconic repulsor, micro rockets, or lasers to take enemies down. Each hero has several categories of unique skills that allow you to fine-tune your playstyle. And as for the case of rewards, which are going to be very important within the realm of a looter-shooter game like this, the more difficult the content, the rarer the reward, which can be collected through enemy drops, exploration, puzzles, and for completing missions or challenges. Now again, I'm not the biggest fan of live service looter-shooter games like that of Destiny or Anthem, but if Marvel's Avengers does manage to encapsulate a very fun and worthwhile experience, as well as make the player feel like that they're actually accomplishing something worthwhile in order to try and incentivize them to keep earning the best types of gear and loadouts for your character, then I can surely see this being a relatively fun experience for hardcore Marvel fans. However, like I've said previously, nothing that was shown within the War Table livestream necessarily got me hyped for what this game is going to turn into. And the only way I will be able to decide for myself as to whether or not this game will be worth my time is when we all actually receive the online beta for the game released before the official launch on September 4th. And that is most definitely in relation to the most important factors that this game will entail, primarily relating to that of the gear, resources, artifacts, and the multitude of cosmetics. Now, I personally couldn't care less about any type of cosmetic attires that do appear within this game, so hopefully the gear will actually be pretty important once you do try and level up and progress your character. And to elaborate upon that a bit further, we do have gear, which is what you would expect. Gear are gameplay items equipped across 7 different slots to enhance hero abilities, such as damage dealt for ranged or melee, defensive enhancements to protect against aim advanced weaponry, or special combined technology such as gamma radiation damage or integrating PIM particles into your arsenal. Gear lets players further customize your hero your way and tuning your playstyle. And alongside of that, we do have the necessary items required in order to make gear in the first place, with of course being resources. Crafting resources, such as Uru, can be found through exploration, be rewarded from vendors, or collected by breaking down unwanted gear. Then it's applied to improve existing equipped gear or traded with vendors for advanced gear. Like Crystal Dynamics have said numerous times in the past, your own unique version of the Avengers will be completely different from my own version of these characters as well. So for example, if you want your version of the Mighty Thor to be more of a close quarters combat focused character, or possibly that of a ranged support character, you can choose exactly how you want to build your character while we progress through the upgrade system that this game will entail, both in regards to the various skill trees as well as the numerous types of gear that you can equip. And even though it doesn't bring it up here, we are aware that there will be different rarities for each type of gear, ranging from that of common, uncommon, rare, epic, legendary, and larger than legendary. So if you're someone who is addicted to that type of repetitive game loop, then I definitely think that this game will be for you. Although, that exact type of repetitiveness is exactly why I don't like these games in the first place. I really do hope that Crystal can make this type of gameplay as fun as they're making it out to be. But again, based on the footage that we saw, I don't currently feel that way as of right now. But still, I am hoping that my opinion will change as we do get closer to launch. But to continue where we left off in the article, it does mention the two other major elements of this game is that of artifacts and cosmetics. Now, we still don't know all that much about what exactly artifacts are going to be, but it still seems like they are going to be pretty important to the overall gameplay mechanics that will be featured in Marvel's Avengers. As it states, artifacts are specialized gear that come in two flavors. We expect Marvel fans will be most excited about exotic artifacts that are pulled from Marvel lore and give unique abilities when equipped. And based on that description alone, it certainly sounds like artifacts are going to give you an edge during battle, as well as serve as a type of fanfare for hardcore comic fans. So hopefully these artifacts won't end up breaking the game or anything, but instead, I do believe they will serve as a little bit of an incentive for gamers who continue to play the game to grind for the best sets of gear and items to equip for your specific Avenger. And that will certainly apply to probably the most financially profitable aspect about this game for Crystal Dynamics is in fact the cosmetics. Like we saw within the War Table livestream and information that was already provided to us, cosmetic items include outfits, emotes, and nameplates. Player gear doesn't change player look. Look good, play good. So you can rock your favorite ensemble while continuing to increase your power level. Cosmetics can be gained in a variety of ways, including unlocked through the campaign, dropped in war zones, bought from faction vendors, or purchased through the in-game marketplace. Additional unique cosmetics can also be unlocked through accomplishing challenges on Hero Chase cards, which have tiered reward paths tied to completing challenges. We'll have more details on Hero Chase cards in our future Marvel's Avengers War Table streams. So for anyone out there who's interested in stylizing each individual Avenger hero within this game to fully personalize your own unique team of heroes, then I definitely think this feature will be for you. And even though they haven't specified exactly which costumes are going to be locked within their online marketplace as of yet, I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest if they hid all the popular suits within their online marketplace in order for you to use microtransactions to equip that outfit. And if that just so happens to entail the extremely popular Marvel Cinematic Universe costumes, then I will just say that I won't be surprised in the slightest if fans start to cause an uproar about that particular dilemma. And while I personally won't be wasting a single cent on any of the cosmetics that this game will hold, I can definitely see a lot of people spending money in order to equip those outfits. So fingers crossed that the suits that you can unlock just by playing the game will still be just as cool as the other costumes that are locked behind a paywall. However, Square Enix have been extremely adamant since day one, saying that there will in fact be no loot boxes or pay-to-win scenarios within Marvel's Avengers whatsoever. And that aspect of the game directly relates to the final element that we are going to dive into on the PlayStation blog article, with that of perks and attributes. And just to confirm exactly what these are special abilities that come with gear and artifacts, and are tailored to encourage specific playstyles for your hero. For example, certain perks apply gamma or cosmic damage to your attacks. When combined, perks and attributes can help define your playstyle. We've even created branded gear to help identify builds, like Stark Tech for ranged ability augmentation and shield gear for defensive play. And as it was stated previously, you can try and build up your particular hero in any way you choose. And to explain that a little bit further, we are going to analyze this specific section of the Game Informer article, which does put all of that into a better perspective and starts to break down exactly what that means from a developer's standpoint. And to quote the article directly, in addition to these skills and heroic abilities, players can further customize their heroes using gear, perks, artifacts, and more. Gear works much like it does in other games, giving stat boosts, while gear perks give you modifiers and buffs in specific situations. One piece of epic gear for Black Widow grants perks like ranged power attacks, buffing defense, and heavy combos increasing stun damage. Some gear even uses things like pin particles to shrink enemies, or gamma radiation to grant bonus damage modifiers. And coming straight from the game's combat director himself of Vince Napoli, he says that on top of all the unique powers the heroes had, we wanted to figure out what is something that none of them can do. We really leaned into the technological aspects of Marvel and some of the core concepts that are global to all heroes, which is the ability to use Pym particle technology and shrink enemies, or use gamma radiation to create a gamma status effect. We also have cosmic status effects and some other ones too. Now, I do have to be blunt, even though the War Table livestream showed a pre-release build of the game's footage, it still looked pretty clunky and overall unpolished in some areas. And knowing that this game's combat system was in fact created by the same individual who made the God of War combat mechanics all the way back in 2018, which went on to win the Game of the Year award for 2018, I was honestly expecting a lot more. But again, we won't know exactly how well the combat will feel once we actually start to play the online beta for ourselves. But on the bright side, there does seem to be quite a lot of variation and implementations of different types of gameplay elements to incorporate within your character's combat style. And if playing through a tidal wave of Warzone missions means that I can unlock the best types of gear for Iron Man, Hulk, Thor, and the rest of the Avengers, while also be extremely fun to do those missions in the process, then I will surely understand the appeal as to what this game is trying to be. And with all that said, everyone, that's the video I have for you today, and please let me know all your thoughts in the comment section down below. What do you think of all this information pertaining to the perks, attributes, gear, and cosmetic attires that we will be able to unlock within Marvel's Avengers? And are you excited to begin your loot and shoot grind fest in order to obtain each of these items? For me personally, it all depends on how fun this game is when I actually get to play it with my friends in a co-op setting. And knowing that could be a race to see who exactly could get the best gear first does sound like quite a bit of fun. And no matter what, even though I am being extremely critical towards the elements that this game will entail, I'm still keeping my fingers crossed for the best possible outcome. But until next time, thank you all so much for watching, stay merry Marvelites, and peace out.
You can even customize your attitude and let out your inner Hulk with the right emote. I don't think that's canon.
Hulk out! Bruce. Damn.
Bruce.
Listen to your mom. She knows better.